What is that inheritance? What is inheritance? It is the concept of reusability. It is a concept of reusability. So if you are trying to reuse the functionality which is already existing, then we go for inheritance. Inheritance is the concept of reusability. It is nothing but it is the concept of acquiring, the concept of reusing functionalities of one class by another. It is the concept of reusing the functionalities of one class by another use. Now the first question is, if you want to make any class as, if you want to inherit any class, what are the keywords involved and what type of inheritance are available to you? So inheritance can be single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, what is it? Single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance. What is that single inheritance? A, B. So what was that? B extends A. This is single inheritance. Multiple inheritance. Single inheritance, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance means C extends A comma B. Multiple inheritance, C extends A comma B. Multi-level inheritance. B extends A, C extends. So this is multi-level inheritance. B extends A, C extends B. So right, this is how we got it. We got single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance. These are the different types of inheritance what we have got. Single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance. These are the different types of inheritance what we have. Let's go to the next one. In Salesforce, only single and multi-level is accepted. In Salesforce, only single and multi-level inheritance is accepted. Right. Let's go to next one. If you want to extend any, if you want to inherit any Apex class, what is the rules that we need to apply? Virtual is a keyword. Only those classes which are defined virtual can be inherited. Only those classes which are defined as virtual can be inherited. Virtual is a keyword. Only those classes which are defined as virtual can be inherited. Virtual is a keyword. Only those classes which are defined as virtual can be inherited. Virtual is a keyword. Only those classes which are defined as virtual can be inherited. Example. Virtual. So only if you define the class as a virtual, it can be inherited by another class. Only virtual classes can be inherited by another class. Okay. Then extends. Extends is a keyword. Just want to extend. If a class want to extend any other class, then public class demo extends example. Public class demo extends example. Public class demo extends example. So what is the keyword? Virtual extends. The keyword virtual, keyword extends. Keyword virtual, keyword extends. These are the two things what we receive. Virtual and extends. Okay. Next one. When a class inherited any other class, all the members of the class will become members of the child class. First, let me give you. Virtual class based example. This is the base class. Extends. This is a base class, this is a child class. Base class, this is child class. What happened? You have defined this class as virtual. The child class extends base class. Virtual class, then child class extends base class. Now what I am doing here? Child class is equal to new child class. What did I create now? I created an object for child class. Execute. When a class inherits another class, when we create an object for the child class, this is a base class, this is child class. So what is happening? Parent class constructor is running, followed by child class constructor. I created an object for the child class. When I created an object for the child class, parent class constructor invoked, followed by child class constructor. When will be the constructor invoked? When object is created. So for the members of the parent class also, memory was allocated. Then for memory is allocated for child class member. Memory for parent class member, child class members are allocated. Then only constructors are running. So this is the base class, this is the child class. So whenever we create an object for the child class, whenever we create an object for the child class, then child class, then parent class constructor will be invoked, followed by the child class constructor. Execute. Child class CC. And what is the output we are expecting? This is the base class, this is a child class. This is how we are creating. I hope you are good with this. Right. Who is it, boss? Right. I hope you are good. So this is a base class, this is a child class. Now, let us take the next point. All the members of the parent class will be a part of child class except private members. All the members of the parent class all the members of the parent class will be the members of the child class except private members. All the members of the parent class will be the members of the child class except all the members of the parent class will be the members of the child class except private members. Go back to this. Now let me run it. I'll make this class as global first. Now I'm taking. This is how we create. cc.evalue. Where was this? This was a member of base class. What did I create? Object for child class. Or else I can straight away give here. Variable was defined in the parent class. I was assigning the value in the child class. So whatever the variable we have in the parent class that are part of a child class. Now I have created a variable in the parent class. I was assigning the value in the child class. So it was created here. Eval. It was used here. Now I can use all the members of the parent class except private members. What is the private member? B value equal to 20. B is a private. So that's why I got an error. What is the error message? Variable not visible. So B is a private member. So let us take a C. C is a private member. So all the members of the parent class can be used in the child class, but not private members. Except the private members, every variable of the parent class can be used. I hope you're good. Now, if you define any variable as a protected, it can be used in the parent class, it can be used in the child class, but not outside the child class. Okay. If I want to create an object here and use execute. Now, it throws error message. Why? D value is a protected member. If it is a protected, I can use within the class, within the child class, but not outside the child class. Are you clear? Public member can be used within the class, child class, outside. Global member can be used within the class, within the child class, outside the child class. Protected member can be used within the class, child class, but not outside the child class. Okay. So every member of the parent class will be a part of child class. This is how we have to do. Right? All the members of the parent class will be the members of child class except private members of parent. Thank you. Right. Next. If the parent class and child class have a variable with the same name, then child class variable will dominate. If the parent class and child class have variable with the same name, then child class variable will dominate, because the variables defined in the parent class are accessible to the child class. Now in the parent class I have a variable with the same name, I have a variable in the child class also. Then what will happen? Look at this. The child class I am also giving now given public integer a value. Now this is the a value of what? A value of this or a value of this. Now how many a variables are there? Child class has its own a value, parent class has its own a value. Parent class has a value, child class has a value. Parent class has a value, child class also have a value. Then what happened? Both of them have a value. Then child will dominate. Which will dominate? Child will dominate. Child will dominate. I hope you are good. If both of them have the same variable, child will dominate the dominant. Okay. Next.
So if we define values in the base class, means it will also dominate.
Exactly. Now when I say a equal to 90 here, a equal to 90, I told a equal to 10. When you say you're 10, right? Right, boss? Okay. Next, methods. Now I have a method in the parent class. Public void now. So any method defined in the parent class can also be accessed by child class. Let me save this file. We are learning just this for the sake of interview. Practically, we don't use. Okay, we don't get a requirement of inheritance in the Salesforce actually. For the sake of your interview purpose, we are just touching all the points. Okay, let me type the points here. All the methods defined in the parent class can be accessed by child class. All the methods defined in the parent class can be accessed by child class. All the methods defined in the parent class can be accessed by child class. Fine.
Satish, I have a question.
First, let me show the output.
Yeah, sure.
This is how we got here. A value 90, B value. Now look at this. When I told CC dot show, what is the value of A we are getting here? I told CC dot show. When I say CC dot show, it is taking the data of the child class, parent class, and displaying it. Now I gave already A equal to 10. But what is the output we are getting here? A value 90. So when I am calling the method of the child class, method of the parent class, it will prefer to take the data from the parent class. When you are calling the method from the parent class, it will prefer to take the data from the parent class. I told cc.show, it has taken the data from the parent class and displayed it. Are you clear about it? So when I say cc.show, it has taken the data from the parent class and displayed it. Now, B value, B value we are not given, C value, B value. Look at this. Now, A is 90, this 10, remaining two values are taken. So when you are calling a method from parent class, it will prefer to take the data from the parent. Not available, it is taking the data from child. Otherwise, what should be the value? 10, 20, 30. But what is the value we receive now? 90, 20, 30. So when you are calling a method from parent class, first it will look for the data in the parent. If it is not there, it will go to child. When I am calling a method from the child class, first it will look for the data in the child. If it is not there, then it will go to parent. I hope you are good. So when you are calling a method from parent, first look for the data in the parent. In the parent, if you don't have the data, then go to the child. If I am calling a method from child, then what will happen? Then child, look for the data in the child, not available, go to parent. I hope you are good, right? Yes. Go ahead, somebody.
So what do you mean by global virtual, Satish?
Global
Is it something similar to public?
Now, what is this global? It's an access modifier, right? Global is what? Access modifier. We have discussed what is a global, what is a private, public, protected, public. We have already seen the access modifier. Virtual, this is a different keyword, this is a different keyword. Don't merge both of them. Global is a keyword. Virtual is a keyword. You are making this keyword, if you make a key class as a virtual, then only it can be inherited. What is this global? It is an access modifier. Global, private, public, protected, they are access modifiers. This virtual keyword came because you want to inherit this class. This is a different keyword, this is a different. Don't join both of them. There are two independent keywords, have two independent meanings. Global is a access modifier, virtual is a keyword to make the class available for inheritance. Okay, boss. Right?
Thank you, Satish.
Now, let me give you.
Hello, Satish.
Yes.
You said that whenever we call the method from the parent class, it's looking the value for first looking the value in the parent class. Then it is not he get then he going for a child class.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
No, you are asking a question and clarifying it. Right. When we call a method from parent class, if the data not available,
Oh, it is vice versa, Satish.
Exactly. When you call say no, there are two different points. You need to look at this. This is one format. This is another format. I told when we call method from parent class. This is the format. When you are calling a method from child, it will be in this format. You are calling a method from parent. Look for the data in the parent first. Not available, go to child. When you are calling a method from child class, look for the data in the child. Not available, go to parent. So the local was given higher priority. The methods, okay, the methods local is given higher priority. Right? I hope you got my point. Am I clear? Okay. To make it clear, I'll do one more functionality. I was defining same method in the child class. Here the B cannot be used. Right, let me execute it. Call was a method from child class. Now what is the data we received here? 10, 20, 30. It is 90, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30. Why we got 10? Because the method was a child class method. First we will go for the data in the child. We look for the data in the child. If there is no data in the child, now look at the point. When I am calling, look for the variable in the child class, parent class. When I call this, it looks for the variable in the child class first. When I am calling a method from child class, it looks for the variables in the child class. If that variable is not available here, then it goes to parent. I hope you got my point. Clear for everyone? Clear, boss? I hope I am clear with this. Right. Right, this is how we got it. When I execute it, right, cc.show, cc.call. Value 10. This is how we got it. Right, boss? We are executing it. The next one is if the parent class, there is a method in the parent class. I hope everyone is following me. Right. Now there is a method in the parent class called show. Child want to redefine the same. I also want to define a method with the name called show. Already there is a method in the parent class with the name called show. Again, I want to define a method in the child class with the name called show. It throws error message. Non-virtual, non-abstract method cannot be overridden. Non-virtual, non-abstract method cannot be overridden. Non-virtual, non-abstract methods cannot be overridden. Non-virtual, non-abstract methods cannot be overridden. Right. Non-abstract and non-abstract or non-virtual methods cannot be overridden. So what I'm doing, if I want to give public, virtual, void, show. If you want the method to be overridden, then it should be what? Virtual method. Then it should be what? Virtual method. I will define here. This is a child class. Now, if you want this method to be overridden, method is what? Virtual. Then we go for it. Override, public, override, void. Public, override, void, invoke. Public, override, void, invoke. Public, override, void, invoke. Public, override, void, invoke. Now, if you want to redefine, method should be virtual, method should be override. Method should be virtual, method should be override. Virtual and override. Now, if child class want to redefine the method which is there in the parent class, there is a method in the parent class. If the child class want to redefine the same method, then what should happen? The child class has to use a keyword called override. Parent class method should be having a keyword called virtual. Only virtual methods of the parent class, only virtual methods of the parent class can be overridden. Only the virtual class, only virtual methods of the parent class can be overridden by the child. Only the virtual methods of the parent class can be overridden. What I'm doing here. Only the virtual methods of the parent class can be overridden by the child class. Only virtual methods of the parent class can be overridden by the child class. Only virtual methods of the parent class can be overridden by the child class. I repeat, only the virtual methods of the parent class can be overridden by the child class. If the child class want to override, if the child class want to override the parent class, if the child class want to override the parent class, if the child class want to override the parent class method should be child class method should use override keyword. If the child class want to override the method which is given in the parent class, then parent class should have a keyword called virtual, child class should have a keyword called override. I hope you are good with this. So these are basic points what we are going to use in terms of inheritance. Now basically, when you say inheritance, all the members of the parent class will become members of the child class. With the child object, I can call all the members of the parent class. When a child inherits parent, all the members of the parent can be accessed using the child. When a child inherits the parent, all the members of the parent can be accessed by the child. All the members of the parent can be accessed by the child. All the members of the parent can be accessed by the child. Right, boss? I hope I'm clear with this. Right. Now, if there is any conflict, who will dominate? Child will dominate the parent. If there is any conflict, child will dominate the parent. Now, suppose when I'm calling this, I want the parent to be invoked. Look at this. I'm calling invoke. I don't want to call the child class invoke. I want to call the parent class invoke. So what will you do? Super dot. When you say super dot invoke, then what happened? Super will refer to parent class. When you call, when there is a conflict, the child will dominate. Now I don't want the child to dominate. I want the parent to dominate. Then what should I do? Super dot invoke. Now we have same thing. This dot, do you remember? This is for what? When there is a conflict between local variable and a class variable, this is used to refer to class variable. Here also, when there is a conflict between parent class and child class, if you want to refer to parent, super dot we are going to use. Okay. Now let me run. I guess I have not called invoke method. Now what was that? This is child class, this is child class method. Now where do you write? This is child class, this is child class method. Both of them are coming, right? This is child class, this is child class method. This is child class, this is child class method. Right, boss? I hope you are good with this. Right, boss? I hope you are good. Now let us go.
Satish, last point, once again, repeat. Just definition.
When there is a conflict between parent and child, whenever I say invoke, I am calling here. Invoke. When you call invoke, when you call a mother, call invoke. When you call a mother, call invoke, then child class mother will come. No, I don't want the child class method to call. I also want to call parent class method. Then I will say super dot. Now there is an invoke method in the parent class. There is an invoke method in the child. There is an invoke method in the parent class. When I say cc dot invoke, it will call child class method. Now I don't want the child class method. I want the parent class method to be called. Then we are going to use super dot invoke. Whenever we use a super, it will refer to the parent class method. Are you clear? Super is the keyword which is used to refer to the members of the parent class. Super is the keyword which is used to refer to the members of the parent class. I hope you are good. Right. Now, I hope you are good with this. Okay. The next one, we are going to have interface concept. What is this interface concept? Let us see. Now, first point, in the Salesforce, we don't define interfaces. We only use interfaces which are already defined by the Salesforce. General programming language, we will define, we will use. Some of them will be given by API. Some of them will be given by API, some of them we define it. But in the Salesforce, we don't define, we only use the interfaces which are already given by Salesforce. What is this interface? It is a collection of unimplemented method. Interface, it is a collection of unimplemented methods. Interface is a collection of unimplemented methods. interface. It is a collection of unimplemented methods. Interface is a collection of unimplemented methods. If any class want to use this interface, they have to define all the methods in the interface. If any class want to use this interface, then they have to define all the methods in the interface. Look at this. Public. Right. Public interface name. Public void call me. Public void show. So interface with unimplemented methods. Now if you look at this, did I define the body of the method? I just gave list of methods. Body of the method is not defined. What that method is going to do is not defined. It has only a list of unimplemented methods. Method names are given, but the implementation is not given. So what is that? The person who is implementing this, they have to define it. If a class want to use interface, then it has to implement it. Then it has to implement the interface. Public interface. Public class demo implements example. Public class demo implements example. Class demo implements example. Class demo implements example. Class demo implements example. When a class is implementing a interface, then it has to define every method in the class. It has to define every method in the interface. Public void show. When a class is implementing any interface, if a class implements any interface, then it has to define every method in the interface. When a class implements an interface, then it has to define every method in the interface. When a class implements an interface, it has to define every method in the interface. It has to define every method in the interface. Right. Let me give you example. Just know the syntaxes. When you get into the concepts, you'll be learning them. Now I have a class like I have interface. Right. So we have an interface. Now define a class which will use this interface. Define a class which will use this interface. Define a class which will use this interface. Right. Then again, public class implements account example. This is a class, right? Class will have its own variables. Public void invoke name equal to Satish. It is a class. When it is a class, it will have its own variables and it will have its own methods. It is a class. Class has its own variables. It has its own methods. Class has got its own variables, its own methods. Now, the point is, because you implemented this interface, you have to define every method in the interface also. Class, you will have your own methods, you will have your own data members. Class will have its own data members, its own data members will be there, its own methods will be there. Class will have its own data members, its own methods. Now, when you implement an interface, along with this, you are also supposed to implement every method in the interface. When you implement this, along with this, you are also supposed to implement every method in the interface. Are you getting my point here? When a class implements an interface, it will have its own data members, methods. Along with this, it is supposed to define every method in the interface. So, interface is a collection of unimplemented methods. Whichever the class is using that interface, it has to define every method in the interface. Now, the point is, they told withdraw deposit, or else they told payment login. Interface told payment login. Now let us say customer 1 is defining login using online banking. Customer 2 is saying login using mobile number. Customer 3 is saying login with a Gmail account. Now, what is that? How you want to define the logic is your choice. I told login to Salesforce. Somebody say username password of Salesforce. Somebody say Facebook username password. Somebody say single sign-on. Somebody say LinkedIn username password. All these people are trying to log into what? Salesforce only. These people are trying to log into Salesforce. Method is login, but customer 1 is using the method of login as username password. Customer 2 is using a login method with a mobile number. Customer 3 says LinkedIn username password. Now, how you implement the logic is your choice, but method name should be same. Are you getting my point? The service name is same, but the logic what you write is your choice. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Right. So, this is the format what we are given. I hope everyone is good. Yeah.
Sir, if you want to use only one method in child class, we have two methods, right?
Not possible. Every method has to be defined. Every method in the interface has to be defined. You don't have a choice. Okay. When a class implements an interface, every method in the interface should be defined. Okay. Fine, boss. So, we'll see them practically where we use, how we use in the Salesforce. We'll see them once we get into the programming, right? Fine. So, we'll meet